Well, somewhere in all that conversation, I heard a dig at the Mountain West Conference, and maybe it was on their 2-12 tournament record over the last 7 years, but I'm not sure that that's what that was.
Yeah, well, I was rooting for them to get into the tournament. I was hoping we get like maybe 4 or 5 teams in there, if you know what I mean.
Easy pickings.
Oh yes, easy pickings. Ramon knows he's lived it. Except San Diego State, they have been one of the exceptions to those numbers. They have had more success than I think any team in that conference of late. But anyway, tonight we go to AAC action as South Florida here will host Memphis. Memphis here 6.5 point favorites, total 156.
Yeah, that was 2-12 straight up for the Mountain West in the NCAA tournament over the last 7 years. Doesn't look like they'll be able to improve on that this year. Let's take a look. Go to the AAC with Memphis and South Florida. Decent matchup. Memphis still in position near the top at 7-3. Got some work to do. Probably won't win the regular season conference title, but they're probably going to the tournament for sure. 17-6 record. They've won 5 of their last 6. They're off a loss. They lost in overtime to Tulane, despite a pretty strong performance by Kendrick Davis. But Memphis ended up losing one there to fall to 7-3 in conference. South Florida, they're just 3-7 in the AAC. They've lost 7 of their last 10. So how will this one go tonight? 6.5 point spread total, pretty high here at now approaching 157. I've got a high tempo predicted for these two teams. Memphis is 14-9 to the over this season, including 7-3 on the road to the over against teams that play sub 500 basketball at home, such as South Florida. South Florida, meanwhile, is 11-1 to the over as an underdog this season. 17-4 to the over in their last 21 games. They're also 12-1 to the over off of a straight up win, which South Florida is off of right now. And also South Florida 7-0 to the over versus teams that play above a 600 overall winning percentage. So I think I've got this one going over. Pretty good situation for South Florida as an underdog. They are 10-2 against the spread as a dog. Memphis coming in averaging 80 points a game. They're also averaging 80 points against South Florida over the last 3 meetings. They'll have to step it up a little bit in order to get this one over that total you see there, 156. Like I said, this one's crept up now to 157 and almost across the board. They played back on December 29th in Memphis, and it was 93-86. Tigers winning in that one in a pretty high scoring game. Kendrick Davis had a big night in that one with 24 points. 5 Tigers scored in double figures. Davis averages 21 points a game. He'll be expected to contribute in this one. South Florida was actually playing very well in that game that Memphis beat them, but they collapsed late. Still got some nice scores. You got the 3-point shooter in Tyler Harris, averaging 17 a game. Russell Tashiwa, he's a 61% field goal shooter from the inside. Chaplin can also score pretty well. They are third in the conference in 3-point field goal percentage. Meanwhile, Memphis is third in CAA play in effective field goal AAC play in effective field goal percentage. I think more importantly, however, is that Memphis is one of the top teams in the country for number of possessions per game. And in conference play, of course, it's stepped up even a little more. But interestingly, South Florida, which really ranks maybe top 100 in possessions per game, but over the last 3 games, nationwide, they've moved up to 13th in possessions per game, not total, but just over everyone's last 3 games. South Florida uptick big time in their tempo over the last couple of games. So I think the fact that Memphis shoots 53% from two, they'll be able to score as well. You got a guy like DeAndre Williams averaging 16 a game, 53% from the field for Memphis. I've got this one as another wild one, Tony. They combined for nearly 180 last time, and I think they can get to at least 160 here in South Florida. Memphis and South Florida go over 156, probably 157 now across the board from the books.
All right, well, it says go over in this one. Memphis, a team that's shooting the ball very well right now. Over their past 5 games in the conference, I think I saw it was about 50%. So they're hitting their shots, and of course, South Florida shooting better than they have in recent seasons here. Over the past 5, they are shooting about 46% over in 4 of their past 5. Important games here, Ramon, here for Memphis down the stretch. Remember, this is a team that kind of complained about their seeding last year. They wanted a little bit more respect when it comes to the NCAA tournament. I guess in the AAC, we would need to see like teams like Wichita State, SMU, Tulsa definitely have been kind of disappointments, kind of bringing down the conference a little bit. That if they would have got that win at Alabama, that would have really helped Memphis out. I don't think they're going to give them credit for a 3-point loss on the road, losing to St. Louis and losing to Seton Hall. But this is the Memphis team with Hardaway that wants a little bit more respect when it comes down to seeding them in the tournament.
Yeah, nobody's going to catch Houston at this point, but even Houston has some of their. I don't know. They have a great record, but once they get in the tournament, you got to wonder which Houston team. I'm not saying they're inconsistent at all with that incredible record that they have, but the 2 losses they have, were surprises. So I don't know how the conference will be treated, but it does run pretty deep there at the top with teams that I think are going to make the tournament. So I don't think they have much to complain about. Considering some like you just don't lose in overtime to Tulane, but that's college basketball, I guess, and that's going to happen. Memphis should take care of business here tonight, but like I said, South Florida 10-2 against the spread as a dog. I don't necessarily say Memphis will lose this game outright to a South Florida team that is sub 500, but maybe covering that number may be a little bit of a stretch for them right now. South Florida is definitely the team that might have the advantage there getting the number, but that's just because I think defensively is the way I'm looking at this one. Memphis, not much of a care to turn it up defensively to get these wins. They're much more happy to play at that tempo. That's why they're
Yep.
number 10, number 10, number 13, somewhere in there in the nation in number of possessions per 48
Yeah,
minutes.
that's based on recruiting. They basically get good recruits. You can outplay, out athletic everybody. You have the talent. Don't hold the ball. The more possessions, the more favorable it is that you'll win more possessions and lose and score in those. And that's one of the reasons why when you got a team like Memphis on the recruiting there, they are going to run fast to take advantage of their quality of play. Memphis USF over 156. This one have a start time here of 7 Eastern time. This one is on ESPN Plus. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at TonySpicks.com for today's action. Of course, today we've got NBA up there on the board as well as college hoops. Just a game here in NHL as well. What do you have going on over at the site?
Right now, I've got 9 games up for basketball today. 6 in college. One of the packages goes off with the early games. There are 3 select games in that early slate. I've zeroed in on 3 games there, and I got it for $30. My college basketball early start 3-pack, and then I've got another 3-pack of games that starts an hour later with those starts at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, and 4 Pacific with another college basketball 3-pack, 6 plays total. So why not pick up my 3-day all sports pass and get all the plays for tonight, including my 3-pack in the NBA tonight. I've got 3 plays on the professional basketball action tonight in the NBA. So we're locked in with 9 plays so far. Looking for more, certainly. See what happens. Late breaking information, but that's the way we're going with it. 6 plays right now in college ball, 3 in the pros, and try to keep another winning day going. 4-2 yesterday here on the site. Just keep going with winners here at TonySpicks.com. Don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off those premium pick packages, or save 20% off of the 3-day, off of the 7-day. That'll take you through the Super Bowl. Tony will tell you. And, well, maybe Super Bowl picks are a dime a dozen, but you're going to get mine. Certainly one of them, like Mindy said, we'll have one probably on the show, and then one more locked in the premiums. Got to be involved on Super Bowl Sunday here this week with Mindy's Chiefs against the Eagles. Looking forward to that.
Oh,
Getting it
yes.
here soon enough. Yeah. Just another party, I guess, for Mindy with all those winners she's bringing in. Tough to spend all that money when you're winning left and right now. Tony, look at that 30-day leaderboard, the damage that Mindy's been doing on there. Just want to shout her out again. Can't thank her enough for the contributions on our show, but she's really been crushing it right now over the last 30 days. Got that number up near 3.5, 4 dimes again over the last 30 days with consistent work. Too. It's not just 10-1, 5-5, 10-1, 5, it's just more like a grinding win. Just 7-3, 6-2, 5-1. She just keeps crushing right now. So making us look good on the morning steam, Tony. No doubt about it. So we'll have more action this week. You mentioned also MMA. You've showed the numbers as well. Took down 2 of 3 last week with our UFC card and also scored in Bellator. So we'll have more MMA action this week. They go down under. They're going to Perth for this week's MMA card. Aussies kind of highlight Aussies and New Zealanders kind of highlighting the action this week, even though it's in Australia. It'll be in the daytime there, so it'll come to you in the evening here in the United States on Saturday night, Sunday in Australia, but the card will be Saturday for the UFC 284 in Perth, Australia. This Saturday night will be in action here the night before the Super Bowl at Tony'sPicks.com.
That's right, guys. Got more from Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. Great results in MMA. College hoops the last 30 days showing great profit as well. So get on board right now with Ramon Scott over at Tony'sPicks.com. Action today, as he mentioned, on the hardwood. NBA 3-pack from Wednesday. Also a 3-pack early start here from college hoops. So get on board with that right now. Showing great results here in college basketball. Those are his plays for today, as well as a Wednesday extra board 3-pack up there. So lots of action from Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. Now, instead of buying all these plays individually, they may opt for a longer term pass. The weekly All Sports Pass will get you all of Ramon's premium plays for 7 days. And that includes all of his college hoops, NBA, NHL, and of course his Super Bowl play is part of that 7-day All Sports Pass. Of course, remember that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save 20% off. You get access to Ramon's page by clicking the link you see in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, and you'll land right on his page. And also included there are any late Steam plays. That's only available on the long-term passes. The plays that you buy there in yellow will include all late Steam releases. And what that means is that the handicappers get their plays in about 11 a.m. Eastern time for the members, and then we allow the cappers to post plays late, and they may be able to post plays between 10 minutes and 2 hours before game time. And those plays are emailed directly to the members. So if you get those long-term passes, Ramon sees something he likes late. Now, the cappers, we've had this feature for some time, the cappers are able to have those plays emailed directly to their customers, directly to the email that you used when you set up your members account at Tony'sPicks.com. So that's a great feature on the long-term passes, because a lot of times cappers will find, especially this time of year when there's so many volume of games, once you've got your plays in, maybe you've seen something else for personal betting, you see something you like, boom. Well, now you can offer that to the customers. Long-term subscribers take full advantage of that and with the late Steam. And of course, that you'll have a 5-minute exclusive window there, because after 5 minutes, then it goes onto the pick ticker for sold individually there, and it will be flagged in green as a late Steam. So keep an eye on that. All right, Ramon. Also, we put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon. Also, that morning Steam show, another great show today, as you cover every pro game on the card, and then you do a handful of the colleges up there. And of course, on the Discord, everybody can go in there and give their request there for the plays that you like them to cover. Covered there on the call from college.
Mostly important on a Saturday, I would think. With so many games to cover, we want to take your suggestions. So head on over to the Discord and put in those suggestions. For Saturday too. We got one more show tomorrow to close out our week of Morning Steam. Another week concluded here with Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Our show, The Morning Steam, we had a record-setting week for views once again this week, and of course, all credit goes to the Midwest's premier sports handicapper, Mindy Hahn, keeping us going with winners each week. Man, if you combine her numbers and our morning Steam numbers, pretty darn good, I would say. Tony, tonight my pick on Tony's Picks Ramon on Twitter is going to come to you in the game between Cal Baptist and Utah Valley. So Pick that one up at Tony's Picks Ramon. Follow that follow that account on Twitter. You're going to get another play every weekday for sure, and sometimes on the weekends as well. More free winners coming to you from Ramon Scott. Also, don't forget, I have embedded videos right here on the Tony'sPicks.com website. I've got my sponsor video today, and I've got a play there coming to you in the game between Utah Tech and Seattle. So pick up another free winner. It's only available on Tony'sPicks.com, embedded in the site, and also my leaderboard video, which you can find on the Tony'sPicks.com YouTube channel when I preview all of the handicappers and how they did over the last 24 hours and how they're doing over the last 30 days, 7 days. Talk about it right there. You see that big number that Mindy's got up there, 37, 38 over the last 30 days. And that's for someone just playing $100 units. And boy, when you're that hot, you're bound to step it up. My play today on the leaderboard show, if you will, is coming to you in the game between Furman and VMI. So
Ramon
check
Scott
that out on the Tony'sPicks.com YouTube channel. I hear me out there, and no problem. Pick up that winner today, Furman versus VMI, on that leaderboard video right there that you see there for today's games. And I'll talk about all the handicappers and all their hot streaks. All of our plays are documented. No one can challenge. There's another site. Other sites do kind of the same thing that we do, and I respect those sites that do the best effort possible to track the plays similar to what we do. There are a lot that don't. You kind of know the ones that do, and they got good cappers, they got fine cappers, but I respect those that track their numbers like this, like we do here, using a third-party source at Tony'sPicks.com. We just enter the picks, and they get graded like they were bets. So when you see that number there, that's all legitimate profit right there with those numbers. Look at and hats off to our newest capper, Joshua, who started off with a 6-1-1. Tony, nice job.
Nice job. Hope to get him on video soon. Here, Joshua Pope there with some great numbers there as well. A lot of the cappers there, him doing great as well. So get on board here with Ramon. Of course, you can find him here on the leaderboard, a video here when you hit the Premium Picks tab, or of course the homepage with the sponsored video. So extra content there for Ramon with those picks here at Tony'sPicks.com. And of course, check him out on Twitter, Tony's Picks Ramon. And of course, over on the Discord, where he moderates on the Discord, where the conversation I don't say confrontation, but the conversation continues over on our Discord. So check it out right there. You can see a lot of interaction there with a lot of Mindy in there as well. Ramon, still trying to figure out how to get that interaction with that late steam. It seems that late steam goes in there and there's not a whole lot of talks. We want to stimulate the conversation a little bit more with some of these posts there, but you can see there, Mindy there getting in there as well. A lot of Butterscotch, Badass in there, TJ. You see a lot of the regulars in there with a lot of content in there, information there as well, injury reports. A lot of folks there liking to show off their prop plays as well. We don't cover a lot of props. We don't document the prop plays on our site yet. I say yet, but a lot of cappers like to give out their prop plays on the site as well. Maybe see a lot of the Super Bowl props in there. I'm pretty sure you'll find plenty of them here as we head to the Super Bowl. So make sure you become a Discord member. Just click the link you see there in the chat on the top. I have it pinned up there, and that will get you into our message, our private message form. Basically, Discord is pretty much a message form on steroids, is what I like to call it there. A lot more features, more stable, much more stable, more secure than those old school message forms. But we like it here. It's very fast up there, fast uploading, a lot of feature packed there. So guys, go ahead and get signed up. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you show. Continue that success here, and we'll talk with you again here tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony. See you then.
You got Ramon Scott here on